What is up, YouTube? Alright, so I checked out of the partial inpatient program for Pine Rest on Thursday. It is now Monday. And I had the weekend to kind of settle in, they upped my medication a little bit, and speaking of which, I have to remember to go and pick that up because I'm running low. So today I did my self-care. That is really important, especially I feel it's important for everybody, but particularly in my life, it is detrimental if I skip my self-care, because when I do my self-care, I am building that relationship with myself. I'm rebuilding that self-respect. And a lot of times it's far too easy for me to fall into the self-sabotage of not wanting to do anything for myself and then not doing anything for myself. When I end up doing that, I'm more prone to fall into my major depressive disorder. And when I fall into my major depressive disorder, I'm in crisis, and I have every negative thought or regret or any negative emotion. It's just swarming around me, and that makes me more hopeless or less hopeless. The emptiness of hope, without hope. Mostly because I've found that when I'm not being present for myself, it makes me repel things. It's like I find myself undeserving of what I need as a person. And that's a hard place to get out of, especially if you've fallen in there and you've been there for a while. So I am working on rebuilding this relationship with myself. And I realize that the only thing that I can do for anybody else is to make sure that I'm okay. And that can be really hard sometimes, because I want to change the world now. I want to help everybody now. I want this radical change to take place immediately because I feel things so strongly. So I am having to work on the inside circle of what I can control, and then things that I can influence, from where I can control, like me taking care of myself and realizing the important benefits that it provides me and the good vibes that I can accumulate on my own. And then from there, I can work on what I'm able to influence. For example, letting people know the changes that I see, especially because in my case, I have a trauma almost around every single memory, and I'm being asked by my divine support team or my ancestors that I'm being asked to not live in the past anymore. And it's really hard when you have a lot of trauma, because when people ask you questions, normal questions, oh, what's your favorite vacation, or when's the last time you did this? And then I'm reminded of the first time I've ever done this, or that I don't have one of those memories that normal people would have because of other circumstances. And it makes me sad. It makes me feel worthless. And the only thing that I can really take from that is that I have to create better memories. And I can't do that unless I'm taking care of myself, unless if I'm rebuilding that relationship with myself, nurturing my inner child, and forming this new person that is me, that is not going to be affected by the past because I don't live there anymore. And it is extremely challenging. Like, even talking about it is challenging for me, because like I'm swarmed with a bunch of memories from my past, and I'm remembering when this situation happened. I remember when this situation happened. And going through the program at Pine Rest has shown me a bunch of different coping skills. And I am looking forward to implementing those coping skills into this new version of me that I'm creating, because what I've been trying, or where I haven't been trying, is starting to be more negative than it has been ever. So I feel the big urge to push to growing as a person, opposed to living in the past and accepting the disrespect that I had been given ever since I was, really little. So there's where we're at. I have a lot of adulting to do today. I need to call a bunch of places. I need to set up a bunch of appointments. I have a couple of appointments that I have to go to today, and I have 4 appointments to go to today. I have probably like 5 places to call to set up more appointments, and then I have counseling later today. So if I gave myself the best jump start for the day, as to take care of myself, put energy back into myself, and then once I have like a stable, good overall emotion, then we can work towards delegating as we go through the day. And I'm thinking it's going to be a good one, and I am more prepared now to take that on. And I am so grateful for all of the things that I have been given. I am grateful for the struggles that have led me to these challenging perspectives that I feel like will help people like on a deeper level. So we're just kind of going from there. But just thought I'd give you guys a little update. And make sure to appreciate yourself. Like they say, the first 10 minutes of the day and the last 10 minutes of the day are the most important, because the first 10 minutes you're setting up your mind, you're setting up your vibe for the day, and then the last 10 minutes are going to be you preparing yourself for rest and how you rest. So I've already started my morning routine, which back in the day I used to have a solid morning routine when I had my apartment. And since I don't have my apartment, I'm having to find different ways. So there's a lot of challenges for me. I don't know if you see my last video, but my last video I talk about personal year numbers. And that's when you take the 2-digit month, the 2-digit year or day, month, day, and then the year that it is, and you add it all up singularly until you get the end number. And then the end number, if it's 2 digits, you want to put it, add those 2 also singularly, and you get reduced to just one number, and that would be your personal year number. And you Google the meaning of personal year number, whatever you got, and it helps to get a little bit more perspective as to what the underlining energy of the year is. And for me, it is a personal year number 1, which means we're starting over from the nitty gritty, which is very, very loud at me right now, considering the fact is I'm at my bare bottom, you know, like this is the bottom. This is from the bottom and we're trying to rise up here. Yeah. So I feel like it is super important for me to be documenting my journey just so that, like, I mean, as we're standing here, or as we're here right now, my life is, you know, is a result of my decisions. And that's something that I've had to, like, accept. And it is a hard truth, especially when you've had to fight your entire life for your right to live. And then meeting challenges every corner you go. So more or less, I feel like a sheep that has been herded, but I am hoping that all of my suffering is not in vain, and by documenting my progress, if I do end up, like, going somewhere with this, like, let's say that 9 years from now I look back and there's like a big lot of stuff that I can be like, you know what, I'm so glad that I was able to pursue through the hard parts of my life, because it is hard to accept this rock bottom, especially when I have done a whole lot of living on rock bottom. So it's extremely discouraging in ways, but I am trying to remain positive so that if other people, which I assume, and take that with a grain of salt, but I assume a lot of people are experiencing things as I do, and they don't have the resources or whatnot to be able to believe in themselves. That's from my personal experience. But also to have, like, a way to, like, reach out to gain support. Like, right now I have like 20 followers, or not followers, I have 20 subscribers, and when my videos come out I might get 1 or 2, maybe 3 views on it, but it's still early, you know, in my channel, and they say, like, the more you upload, the more that you're able to grow. And so here we are trying. And if you come across this, I would encourage you to try to document your story as well, because the only way that we're able to really help each other is to break the silence and to talk about the things that, or to talk about our challenges, so that we have a baseline of where we start. And the uploading of videos is a way for us to physically see that we are making progress, because a lot of times when you're in the suck and you're at rock bottom, it's really hard to see the positive things, and without seeing the positive things, we're more likely to sit in the low vibes. And when you're sitting in the low vibes, it's hard for you to attract those positive things in life. So there's where I'm gonna leave you. I love you, and I hope that you can find a little bit of peace in hearing my side of my story. And here I go adulting. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.